Well, Maverick guest today is Nigel Travis, a man who wears many hats, literally. Oh, it's probably just the one in it, Nige. But
no, I do have a hat for many occasions, all different hats. But yeah, I like a baker boy hat. You know, that's my
it's your thing.
My thing has been for many years. People, and again, maybe I'll get out there. People do believe that I wear this because I did a little bit on television, but I've always wore it, and I've worn it for many years. And people think that I'm just trying to boast about being on television, but I'm genuinely not. It's something I wore. People like Rocky Marciano, you know, they wore them. You know, the old Joe Louis, the old fighters used to wear them. That's why I started wearing them, and I love them.
Are you going to tell us you were in Peaky Blinders or something like that? I mean,
oh no, it would be so stupid. Don't be daft. Nah, maybe later, yeah.
I see. Right. Well, anyway, your serious stuff. I mean, apart when you're not fighting fires and saving lives that way, you're working with the kids in another way, saving lives, as you like to say, day by day, which is Moss Side Fire Station Boxing Gym. And of course, you've got a long association now, really, with it. Well, as long as it can be with Maverick Stars, which has only been going a couple of years, but you've been they're pretty much there since day one.
Yeah. And to be honest, I didn't know anything about Charlotte, the boss, before. I met her mutually through Jamie, and she came to our gym. I didn't know her backstory at all, knew nothing about her, and I met her and was very impressed with how she held herself, and really she's personally put her money where her mouth is. She's seen the value of boxing, of our sport, seen the value of what it does for kids and people, not just kids, but the value of the sport. So she's a bit of a philanthropist who decided to give a light to it, really, and I can do nothing but doff my one of many caps. I really, genuinely, I'm impressed by what she's done, because, and when I first met her, it was, why would anyone do this? Why would anyone give their life and soul to a sport? But we do it every day anyway, so I'm doing that, and many other people are doing that in amateur gyms up and down the country.
And a couple of the schemes that you're doing, I mean, there's been various things, but obviously the Food Community Hub during the lockdown times has been particularly successful, which is unfortunate that it is so successful, if you get my meaning, because you've fed thousands of families in the area. Yeah,
as you say, you know, our success is other people's failure, and maybe, you know, the governments or whoever. And again, not to get too political, but there's a reason that it's happening, and genuinely, I'm appalled that anybody in this day and age is hungry. I've never known, and it may be a scratch record, I've said it many times, but I've never really known hunger like these kids know hunger. When I was doing the weight, I was starving, you know, I was very disciplined, but that was my job. You know, that was what I was doing to achieve whatever I wanted to in the sport. So I've known hunger that way, but I've never known hunger through poverty. I never maybe had the best food. We weren't a rich family, and you know, but we were not. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't in poverty, so I don't know where these kids come from, what state they are, where, you know, how they live their lives. But it's scary to see it. You know, it really is scary to see the kids, because when we're turning up delivering food on a daily basis, the kids were starving, and that's very, very difficult to appreciate, but you become accustomed to it, because we did it. We've done it for many, many weeks, and the reason we did it was because when we've always done it, our gym itself has always supplied, because a lot of kids, their only decent meal of the day is when they go to school, and again, when you think about that, you're like, wow, how can that be? How can that be? But it's a literal translation of what it is. So we're in the holiday camps, you know, Christmas, summer, half term, Easter, we provide fit and fed camps. And so we've done it as a gym. We apply for funding from different varying funding streams. And if we get it, then we're happy. If we don't get it, we still run the courses. And since I've got involved with Mavericks, and since I've got involved with Charlotte, she's seen that, you know, how the areas of the poverty are in anywhere as the boxing club, and that's why the value of these gyms are in places of these diverse areas. Whether it's diverse or not, it's about the poverty as kids are skint, can't afford food, can't afford the subs, can't afford this, can't afford clothes, whatever it is. So she's seen that literally when she did it herself. So we've always done it. So she's coming to our gym, she's seen what we're doing and said, well, she's going to back us. And so I've become an ambassador for it, very proud of it. I will champion wherever I go because it's the right thing to do. And the fact that there are still kids starving, you know, it's terrible and disgusting or whatever, you know, however you can describe it. But we're doing a little bit by helping out and delivering thousands of meals, as you say. So we've done it from the start, and it's great. It makes you feel $1 million, and maybe, you know, egotistically I'm thinking, wow, this, you know, it's not life or death, but genuinely, you know, it's really traumatic to see some of the situations that you see. But you know, that's life, and part of that, you know, just giving. So it's in giving that you receive, in my eyes. You know, I do believe that being positive, and I'm a positive person, I'd like to think, and I do genuinely feel blessed that, you know, the support that I get from my family and all that. But we're givers, and we'll give to our time, and if we have to try and find some money, we'll find it by hook or by crook.
So with the boys and girls that you look after on a day-to-day basis normally, now we've spoken about the Fit and Fed and the hunger program and all that, but in terms of training-wise, what are you doing to keep them engaged?
We since the start, really, we've been doing the Zoom meetings, and there's not so much quality in that Zoom meeting. Yeah, you see it on the screen like I can see now. So and when it's just me and you, I can see perfectly well. But when you've got 10, 15, 20 kids on it, it's very hard to pick up, you know, correct the faults and change the but really, it's unimportant that. It's not about the quality, it's about engaging with our kids on a daily basis. And what we were doing it every day we did. Basically, I wanted the kids to do 3 sessions a week, but because it was in Ramadan when it started, and so the kids who were fasting, I did them on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the kids who weren't fasting, I did on a Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Sunday being the Lord's Day, everyone rests, obviously. So that's how I did it. And then, but some of the kids were doing it, so joining both the fasting sessions and the non-fasting sessions. And some of the kids who were fasting joined the sessions. So they just wanted to do it, so you could see how eager they were to do it. So I've just carried that on, and I'm fortunate. I've got 4 or 5 coaches who've helped me out, so it's not just been all on my toes. You know, I've got some good coaches. I've got all good coaches who are willing to give their time, willing to give up their time for nothing to engage with these kids, because they also get something out of it by, you know, being a mentor or being, you know, positive in these kids' lives. You know, they want to be involved. So I'm blessed at that. But that's what we have been doing. And then 2 weeks ago, when it was announced that you could go, you know, have some external, you could exercise as many times as you wanted externally, as long as you kept your social distance. So I've got 4 or 5 coaches who've been down to the gym. We took 20 kids down there, and we've worked them in the park, keeping the social distance. Now, and with the inclement weather, it can be problematic, obviously, but it's been okay. One week we were rained off. The first week we did 20 minutes in glorious baking sunshine, and then it came down, you know, cats and dogs, and we were absolutely drenched. And we tried to tough it out, but realised we couldn't, so the kids went home. But we're doing 1 session in the park a week, and that whether that be sprints, shadowboxing, no pads, no sparring, no one-to-one contact, keeping that social distance. So, and it's been great. I'm having plenty of kids come in. I'm having kids phoning me asking me if they can come. They can come, but it is mainly for the competitive boxers. So I've got thousands of kids who are members of my gym, but I've got 25, 30 kids who are competitive, actively competing now. So they're the kids that I really concentrate on. And that's not to disregard the kids who are not boxing competitively, but I'm thinking of, and so I speak to them on Zoom meetings, and anyone can join the Zoom meetings. They're all welcome to it. And so they all know that. But the sessions in the park have been for competitive kids, and it's been going great.
One of those competitive kids is Conner Tudsbury, of course, who was flying really before lockdown, wasn't he? He'd been taking on the GB squad and everything was looking great. And, prior to the virus, people were getting giddy about the Olympics. Could he go as a sparring partner? And there was all sorts of chit-chat. I don't know, whether that was all firmed up or anything, but how has it all affected him and his progress?
Well, listen, the kids are, and again, the kids product of his environment as such, and he loves our gym, so he's passionate about training, and he's, don't get me wrong, he's very well. He's an athlete. He's a born athlete, and so he's professional enough in the game. He's been done it since our gym opened 12 years ago, and he's been with us since the start. So he's our success kid, but he's handling it very well. He's still doing Zoom meetings with GB 3 or 4 times a week. So they have a program. Obviously, they have to abide by that, and so he's keen to do it. But he's also involved in our programs. So it's going okay. And as you say, he was flying, and they were talking great things about him, as you said there, about going over, to Tokyo as a sparring partner, because Ben Whittaker is the number one. But listen, who knows? Who knows what's going on? It's next year now, but we'll see. But the kid's really been with me since the start. One of my proudest achievements is having him involved, but also equally, I've got kids who never boxed, who've also been equally, I'm very proud of, because now they've got a job or for whatever. So our sport is a great sport, for not just for the victories, the Conner Tudsbury, the champions, but it's also for the kids who are not. But yeah, literally, Connor's made me a great success because he's on the GB. He was seeded. He was due to box at the end of, or the beginning of May. Yeah, in the ABAs, he was seeded number 1 by GB. So that's a great moment for me. Seeing him win the GB championship up at Sheffield was nerve-wracking, but very, very proud for me, for my father, for all the other coaches in our gym who've had some input. So he's not just my lad; he's our lad. But I've got a very, very special liking to him. My kids love him. My missus loves him. He's like part of the family. He genuinely is. So because we've known him since he was a kid, and I've seen things now. Just recently, people have posted stuff on social media or on YouTube. Lee Hogan, from VIP filming. He's posted a fight when he boxed in at 2012 in Walden, and it's like, wow, where's the time gone? He's now a man. He now looks like a man, but as a 12-year-old kid, he was still ferocious and still, but he was on the, he had the right idea, and I believe he could have been a professional basketballer, footballer, runner. I think he's an athlete, and I'm blessed that he's walked into my gym and taken it upon himself to listen to what I've got to say.
What about the other people that listen to what you've got to say, or the pros now that are back in? I know that Frampton's back over and it's all full steam ahead now, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all back in. I've just finished from there now, just been in there. Frampton, Mike Murray, Jack Catterall, Akib Fiaz, Stevie Ward, Rocky Fielding, so Mark Leach. So they're all back in. Chantel Cameron, they're all back in now. Varying weights, varying sizes, varying shape, because they've been in lockdown. But Carl's the only one really with the definite as such. I say definite. He's got an idea of what he wants to do, but it's not hard work. Training Carl Frampton, training Jack Catterall. It's not hard work at all, because they listen. They're completely professional. We have a laugh. People have seen it, I'm sure, on the media, whatever, social media nonsense. But it's same as having a laugh, but we also do the work, and they still listen. Now, to a punch-drunk bloke from Oldham who swears too much and shouts, they still seem to listen and still seem to take some sort of notice of what you're saying. And you can see the professional of them when you tell them, when you do it, when you pick them up on something, they then take that away and you can see them practicing it. That's why Frampton has been a world champion. And I believe Catterall, Cameron, they can all of them can do it. Martin Murray, you know, he's the elder statesman of our gym, but he's still learning, still trying, still doing things differently. And he seems to me to be that he's enjoying it more than he ever has. And that's, you know, that's good to be involved in.